The Enlightenment Chasers. Royalties of Peace. We are stealing the storms back to peace that has no storm while holding on to perfect peace. This is episode 59 of the Golden Age podcast, July 8th, 2025, by Maris Free Lefang. A good time to start working on the big, beautiful bill gifted to the United States of America by the Independence Day, 4th of July, 2025, marking USA 149 years of the federal celebration of independence, acknowledging with the enlightenment mind, the white mind of many traditions keeping to reasoning, a greater light, presenting this kindling of the light that started with the very first forefathers in Africa before even the drifting of the continents, yearning for answers, of a distinct being, the inner peace versus its surrounding, like one who parts from his house after a long journey, yearns returning home, not because the journey was not good, but the journey was meant to be only for a short time, and home, the place of rest. When walking on a problem, it is not because the problem is not important. When we reach the solution and testify free at last from a mental slavery. The mental slavery might have been complicated, but we realize the importance of slavery, of its simplicity, the pondering of the mind, of its simplicity of battlefield before its complexity of increasing in population that led to the cruelty among ourselves. Our conditions only become complicated because of our increase in number, instead of knowledge increasing. We must keep on enforcing on this until the young grasp the expected concept behind humanity of its journey to perfect peace, the growing in knowledge, yearning for perfection, yearning for completion, yearning for the understanding. Being out of the house is being busy of the mind. Therefore, to rest of the mind, we must be inside the house. The inner sanctum is calling for all, of none left behind. This big, beautiful bill gifted to the United States of America, of its 900 pages, or about 900 pages, of the legislation. By His Excellency President Donald Trump, who is very concerned about quality before quantity. When we think about quality before we think about quantity, we realize the intention of our forefathers of evacuating the earth should be done healthily. Celibacy and luxury, our traveling mercies, to the perfect peace of within. Assured, the solid state of our being is not a place of rest, neither the liquid state. We look forward to be of the gaseous state, according to physics, according to science. Free particles should not be colliding. Free particles should not collide each other, for such increases pressure, anger, and desolation. Yet, does not mean particles far apart should be individuals far from each other, but rather a figurative, a parable to express what becoming one means to our very existence of divisions. Where free at last is being one and not divided. There is tranquility and perfect peace of one accord. Enough of the different points of views when we are the center of it all, the inner peace. Quality versus quantity. The Treasury Secretary, Secretary Scott Bessent, on Squawk Box testifies that His Excellency, the President, is more concerned about quality than quantity. Enforcing the tariffs is only to encourage us to realize our default of trying to increase in number in response of increase in quality. An inverse relationship we're trying to make. Versely, quantity does not equal quality. The increase in quantity does not promote increase in quality, but rather vice versa. An inverse relationship is the required. An inverse relationship is required and not equally yoked. Quantity and quality. We are looking forward unto an inverse relationship between quality and quantity, where the quality must be of higher and the quantity of lower, so the young can be impacted healthily with a beautiful picture of expected, to teach them of ancestors' journey and goal, to enter into perfect peace of none left behind. Yesterday we did take a look at this bill considering the $1,000 that must be invested for the young children conceived between December 31st, 2024 and before January 1st, 2029. Of any child conceived after December 31st of 2024 and before January 2029 to be provided $1,000 invested in their name. Only another example of what paycheck to paycheck living is, requiring a response of the increase in the number of children. Only will yield a lesser outcome of the investment. If the children grow up to multiply, it will affect the investment. This is not to encourage us to have children. It's what I'm trying for us to understand. But rather, what this will seem like if these children get to have children in the future, the investment will not be helpful. Therefore, this is rather a case study taking place to help us to come to our senses of what we are missing of being the people of the government. Wake up, America, for the world looks up to you. USA is requiring all humans to become self-efficient, a choice, or may stay under power that suppresses them in the name of a government. Politics is beautiful when we are all of one mind. Politics is beautiful when we are all under laissez-faire government. But how we deprive ourselves with the increasing in number and divisions of self, inefficient to self-govern. When we know we are the government, our all is required. What do we do? We are the people. For the people. It's for us, the people. By the people, for the people. It's only about us. Must we realize there is no escape? It is either you be the leader or the follower. It is either you be the teacher or the student. Talking about this great bill that was supposed to be divided into like 7 bills, but made one to reduce the overthinking of divided minds. Let us all have it one and work on it now. If you get it, you get it. How many years have we been dividing bills? The Constitution, yet still not of efficient interpretation of our forefathers' purpose and goal. The reason we struggle today of not understanding it is all about an ascension without falling, an ascension without descending. No more descendants. A journey to perfection. We cannot be perfect on the journey, but we yearn for perfection at the end of it. We are required to bring it to an end in order to enter into perfection. But how do we cease if we keep on making children? If we keep on implanting seeds in the womb of women? The choice depends on our strength. Teachers or students have strength. A student's strength is only a developing strength that must increase to perfect reciprocity with that of the teacher. This is the desire of our inner being, the inner peace, the inner center, the center to which we all belong. Though of different points of view, we have one destination. The teachers awaiting us all, students like divided, to become equal with them, reciprocal. This big, beautiful bill, signed into the law to extend tax according to an article on yahoo.com by Sir Brandon Tensley on President Trump's big beautiful bill that targets Medicaid, SNAP, and student loans. may seem like against us. It even states that it will affect majority Black Africans and other marginalized communities. When we talk about marginalized communities, we talk about even some white race, but more on the Black Americans. Who are Black Americans? Sometimes when we talk about Black Americans, we kind of get confused thinking it is the Black race. But the Black Americans are Black minds. America meaning mind, the mind of enlightenment. Is it of higher mind of enlightenment or of the lower mind of enlightenment? When we read the articles, how do we interpret to assist the young to generate the smart thinking, the smart journey than the hard we have been going through? It's amazing how this writer really writes this article. He really states President Donald Trump's nearly 900-page piece of legislation that he calls his Big Beautiful Bill will likely have major ramifications for Black Americans and other marginalized communities. It didn't say race, but if we understand being with the right mind of our ancestors, the white mind, the Black age is becoming the white age, and this white age we are returning to must have the right mind, not relying on races or on male and female, but rather of the mind, which is one. Either it is black or white. You must choose which you belong to. Either you are a student or a teacher. If you are black mind, you are a student. If you are white mind, you are a teacher. No one rejected, but the students still learning to become a white mind. President Trump signed the bill. They said he signed it last Friday. And that was on the 4th of July. But our main focus is how the people are relating to this bill. We are trying to resolve the negative impacts so we can align with the white mind, the need for traveling mercies. We are the people and cannot let any disruption fail us when we know our problem is not even what is playing, but rather what we have made to trigger what is playing, our increasing in number. Time for us to really work on ourselves and remediate on our purpose of humanity, increasing in knowledge. Thank goodness for schools. Today we'll focus on how this bill affects the people. Talking about Medicaid, It says in this article that Medicaid eligibility for required participants demands 80 hours per month on work programs. Requiring the people to at least have 80 hours per month on work programs to have Medicaid, which is not bad. Work and care to strengthen the US nation physically while trying to match with the mind of enlightenment. Our work hours are training hours to perfect of the mind that gives us free access to Medicaid. The medicine of our mind is to work, is to train ourselves to perfection, yet working smart, not working hard. For working hard only throws more expense on us and we lose the Medicaid. So the Medicaid is to assist us to work smart and not to go beyond expenditure. Medicaid enrollees are mostly black minds because they are the ones who need education, work programs. They are those in training, and the Medicaid is to assist them not to overwork themselves, but to stay under the expectation of the measure given of the Medicaid. I hope this gives us an effective mindset in responding to the big bill. Let us not overthrow ourselves into complications or battlefields of the mind, but try to follow the right path of the enlightenment. Enough of the throwing ourselves over so many points of view, but focus on the center. Because this journey is a very short journey. We can't be everywhere with rages and warring each other and focusing on what we call irrelevance, but rather only measures we need to work under to fulfill our expected of within. We'll continue with this article tomorrow. July 9th, 2025, Wednesday. More on how it affects school and assistance for those with limited access. Thank you for listening. Peace steals the storm back to peace that has no storm, looking unto perfect peace.